There's a question going around on Facebook, Instagram, different social media platforms about how long after you give a man your number should he call? I've seen answers, say anywhere from 3 to 5 days, but they don't want to call you immediately because they're saying they don't want to seem desperate. Guess what? They want to know how desperate you are. Well, hello, my reverse 180 family. This is Tanja coming at you with another nugget. It's just my 2 cents for change. We're going to get into those responses that I saw. The first one is if you give him your number and you don't get his number in return, then if he doesn't call, he's not interested. But then when he does call, if it's 3 to 5 days, like I've seen some of the responses, and you're all giggly and googly and so excited, then he knows one or two things: that you're desperate and that he figured he can hit it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is adults on this platform, hopefully. And this is from a Christian standpoint that I'm giving my responses. The world, you can go however you want to do it, but doesn't make it right. But as a Christian, if you give that man your number and he waits to call you, maybe something happened. There are exceptions to every rule. So, at least take the call if you're waiting for it. But then if he calls, if you exchange numbers and he waits 3 to 5 days and then you can't take it, so you call him or you text him, he still knows you're desperate. They call men dogs for a reason, because they're used to chasing. So they know if they're really interested. And then a lot of times, men are very sensitive. They're scared of rejection. They don't know if you just gave them the number to get rid of them because you were with your girls, and you're like, he keep asking my dog number. Let me just give it to him and get him out my face. So he's not sure. So that could be one of the reasons. But here's the thing. As adults, we should be able to call someone that we're interested in the moment they give us the number. Now, if you see them out and you got their number out at, a mall, grocery store, and you're by yourself, when you think they're home or whatever, you can text them, hey, just thank you for allowing me to receive your number. Just want to know when there's a convenient time for me to call you. That's simply what they should say or text you. But a lot of times men are very sensitive and they're scared of rejections just like we are. So we don't want to play games. Whether you're young, you're old, don't play those kind of games. If you're interested, it's just like when you're in a relationship. A man knows if you're the one. It don't take him all these years to do the same thing. But, a lot of times they just figure they got all the time in the world. They figure like everybody wants them, but why do they want them? If you tell them all the right things and you making this 6 figures like everybody's been talking about, all that craziness, or if you have a certain profession that comes with a bit of success tied into it, not necessarily the truth, but people assume that doctors, lawyers, politicians, pastors are all successful. But successful in what term? So you have to make sure you know that what these men are looking for, good Christian men are looking for a woman that's honest, that can be transparent, that can be okay in them calling them right away and having a conversation about life. You don't have to ask all the questions, but you don't have to wait or just you see the guy calling, I'm not going to answer right away because then he going to think I'm desperate. No, he's not. It depends on how you have what kind of conversation you have. If you seem desperate, if you just giggling, everything he's saying is, oh yeah. There's a difference between coming off thirsty or desperate than it is for somebody that's being supportive and enjoying the conversation and encouraging this man in his endeavors and the things that he's accomplished or things that he's talking to you about. It's okay. It is okay. But when you can't even let that man get off the phone and you constantly calling him, you don't give him a chance to call you, they pretty much know that you're excited. And you should be excited for a new relationship if this is what you're looking for, because as a Christian woman, we should be looking for marriage. But some people, let me back up. I'm not saying everybody, because everybody doesn't want to be married. Some people want companionship. But if you are, your body is saying something differently, you don't have that gifting. So if you're wanting to be with a man, and you're saying it's just for companionship, but your body's saying, "Ooh, he gets me excited," ladies, you need to reconsider that thought, because marriage is what you need to do without, sinning against God, committing a sin when God has told you not to commit fornication. Um, but back to the question, it doesn't matter. If you want to call that person right away and you're interested, then so be it. If that person doesn't call you, then he's missing out, ladies. If you all exchange numbers, you get his number, he gets yours, don't be the first to call. And that's not playing a game, but, well, it depends on how you got the number. If he asks you for your number and you give it to him and he said, "Well, can you call me? I'm going to call you so you'll have my number as well," then that's okay. But let him call you first, and then it's okay to call him backwards and forward, however the time you want to do it. But don't constantly call that man. Let that man have that opportunity to chase you. He doesn't want to be rejected. So if you're not interested, lady, don't play games with these guys. They have feelings just like you do. They talk about us being emotional, but men are very sensitive. You can stroke their ego, or you can just shoot them down and be so harsh that if they see you again, they will remember that. It's like an elephant. They don't want to deal with you. They're gonna put the word out if you're somebody that's known in the community, so they're gonna tell people to shy away from you. You don't want that reputation either. Please be gentle, be kind to these guys. If you don't, so I'm not, I'm sure there's somebody else out there that's interested. However you want to say it, but you can be, you can be kind. You can just even gain a new friend. Not necessarily that you're interested in him for marriage, but you can gain a new friend, a new perspective on life. Sometimes they can key you in onto, what men think and what men like. But don't just be so mean and so cruel, and don't waste anybody's time, because you got to remember, if you want something and that's what you dishing out, guess what you're going to get back? You got to speak what you want. We got to understand life and death is in the power of our tongues. And so when you're with a man, you got to make sure you're there to encourage him, to support him. And if you're not doing that, ladies, move on. Guys, same thing. Move on. Don't be doing it for a game with your homeboys and trying to say, "Hey, I can get that number. I get that number." And that's fine. You might be able to, but how serious are you about that woman? Especially if you can, because y'all can sense the vulnerability with women and how thirsty they are most times. So, a person being friendly, don't take it the wrong way, but a person that you're really not interested in, don't waste their time. I'm just saying, I know y'all hate to be rejected just like we hate to be rejected, but in the meantime, don't play with anybody's emotions. You reap what you sow. That's just my 2 cents for change. Until next time, be blessed. Don't play games.